Oh, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next thrilling and exciting and astounding and amazing and shocking and effervescent and ebullient, irreproachable, irreplaceable episode of the Reading Kaufman of the World, with the 6th episode of How to Read in Chinese. And, wow, I stayed up all night long, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're going to be in this one for the long haul. It'll be a great celebration of Chinese history and culture. And your brain will enlarge in size. So without further ado, let's continue. And I need to make sure that I'm in my Chinese input method, which I have turned on. And after our long phrases, we're going to conclude with the following. Jingli. Oh, no, I missed a G. J-I-N-G. Li. Okay, what does that mean? Experience. Jingli, manchang. Shidai. Now look at that. That picked up exactly what I'm trying to write. 经历漫长的时代，不断 unceasingly. Unceasingly evolve, continuous evolution. Oh my goodness, they believe in evolution in China? Surprise, surprise. Time. 形成了. You see that? 中华民族如此庞大。中华民族如此庞大的形式大团体。Look at that. That you can observe the pinyin. I believe I've entered everything correctly, but let's just look at it carefully and make sure we have it right. If you look down in the bottom, you see 中华民族如此庞大的形式大团体. That is correct. So I hit enter. And now, what do we have? Okay. Again, right here, you see this structure. If you think of it, it might help you to think of it like Shidai of Jingli Manchang, right? So this is of the era, the long period, right? Or of this really long time experience, a long experience of this era, this period, the long experience of it. Unceasingly yanbian. And, you know, this is like for yan, this is evolve, right? And you can remember, I remember this character because it's like for the director of a movie, it's a Dao Yan. And for a performer to perform, it's Yan Chu, right? So Yan is to like perform. And Bian is to change. So it goes through its motions, and in the process of going through its motions, it changes. Like, I'll give you an example. My sister was really short, and people bullied her a lot. And so she thought, I need to get a really big, strong husband that will protect me so people won't bully me so much. And then maybe my child will be also big, and then he won't get bullied. And so she married this really, really tall guy. And then they got together and they had a big giant baby, and he grew up to be over 6 feet tall. So there you go. Heritable traits, evolution. So, all right, now 才能才行成了, right? This, in a way, the way I understand it is this appears here, but it's sort of like until something else happened or after. So you could kind of, when you see this, you say 经历漫长的时代不断演变才形成了. This is the result that comes about. So after this is sort of indicating after this happens, until this happens, it couldn't have become about that. This form should have taken shape of the Chinese nationalities in this way, formed a humongous, a really large group. Wait a minute here. No. I'm sorry. I did make a mistake. It's late. 姓氏. When I saw that form, it looked like it fit. But what I meant to say was this. Group of names, a large group of names, form, take shape of a Chinese nationality's large group of names, 大团体, big group. I can't believe it. We made it to the end of the forward. So let's go back and look what we've learned. Baijiaxing, right? The hundreds of family names. And then at the beginning, we talk about the origin of family names. 姓氏的来由言，由来 excuse me 由来，姓氏的由来。 Okay, now 在上古时代的原始部族就有了姓。From ancient times, the primitive tribes already had names. Okay. 当时社会以母系为中心. Okay, so they had at that time, the society was centered around matriarchy. All right. 同一母系后代不同婚. Okay, the same matriarchal systems they had offspring, 后代, the ones that came after, right, had not the same marriage system, 不同婚. And 为了区分不同的婚姻体系, 变有性，变有性. Okay, so in order to, or for distinguishing the different marriage systems, they also had names. Right. 古代的姓多为女字旁. Okay, so in the ancient times, the names, many of them had the ni character as an element or a radical at the beginning of the character, and then ru. This means, for example, 新农新疆, and look at the bottom here. What does it have? It has the ni radical. Okay, and this interesting one, 皇帝姓姬. Okay, and we looked at this. This we're familiar from Ba Wang Bie Ji. It's Farewell My Concubine. It looks like the name of a concubine, and we noticed that it has two elements. The first element is Nü, and then the second element is Chen. And Chen, we know, is the word for a noble or an official of the government or something like that. So you put them together and you get Ji. And some people don't like the sound of Ji for various reasons, but okay. Now, this one, let me see if I can remember this. It's Yu, the second tone, Yu Shun, the fourth tone, right? Yu Shun. And he's the predecessor of a guy called Yu the Great, who developed flood control systems in ancient China. So this, if we're not familiar with this character, and most Chinese children are familiar with it because everybody gets to hear these stories about these very important figures in Chinese history. But the important thing for this character to remember is that the radical consists of, I believe it's these 6 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to go into the 6-stroke category to look it up, and I believe it's in the 6-stroke section of the 6-stroke category. So just for grins and giggles, let's go and see if that's right. So I go to my MDVG and I go to my radicals, and I go to the 6-stroke category. And there it is, 6 strokes. So I'm expecting to find the character that I want in the 6-stroke section of the 6-stroke category. So I click on that and I look for 6. And no, it's not there. It's 7 strokes. And that's an example. See, I thought in my mind when I counted that there were 6 strokes in this lower part. But there's not. Apparently there's 7 strokes. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure enough, 6, 7. So it's in the 7-stroke category. That's a typical thing that's going to happen if you're looking up a character that's difficult and you're a foreigner. Okay, who remembers which radical we look up? This one. If you remember in our previous lesson, we tried to look it up by this top radical and we couldn't find it. We tried to look it up by this cover radical and we couldn't find it, and then we tried to look it up by this radical here and we couldn't find it, and we didn't know what this was. Is this a 10? I'm not sure, but what we needed to know is that these 6 strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, represent chuan, and that's the radical that we need to look this character up by. And just let's go and check that just to make sure. So I go to the 6-stroke category again. And whoop, oh, there it is. Chuan. Chuan. And 3rd tone. Okay, that's right. Chuan. And lo and behold, there is our character. And this one on the top, I think, is I want to see it means like claw, and this one like means a cover, but let's just go back right quick and look in the 4-stroke category and find that this one. So that's a simple version of this one. And yeah, it means claw or talon or an animal's foot. Zhua. Zhua. Okay. So that, and then I'm going to look this one up again. There it is. I'm waiting for the internet. Hey, come on. Okay. Me, 4th tone. Me. You and me. A cover. Okay. And there is a separated verse. You know, this is the part of the Chuan radical, right? Xi. But that didn't help us. It turns out that we had to know Chuan before we could look that up. Okay. And this, does anybody remember? Yao, 2nd tone, 2nd tone. Okay. Xia Chao, Di Wang, Xing Si. Okay. So, that's the Xia dynasty king or emperor, had the name of Si. Right? And what we learned on this character is we need to know that this part of it, which by itself is read Yi, like Yiwei, it's got 5 strokes. It looks like maybe it's 4 strokes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's actually 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. So if we want to look that up, we're going to have to, let's just do it. We're learning here, so we'll go slow. Oops. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. We're going to look that up. We got to find first the 3-stroke new character, and then we got to look under the 5-stroke section. Hopefully. See if I can find. There it is, right there. Look it up, and it turns out that it's S. Okay, so we go back now. And Xia Chao, Dong Yi, or it's Dong Yi Zu, and in this case, it sort of means the Eastern barbarians of the 2nd millennium before the Common Era, but it can also mean the Japanese, or anybody, the Koreans, anybody that's the sort of east of China. And Sholing, we already know that. We should already know that at the level that we're at. And they had the name of Ying, which means to win. And you can see in the center down here of the Ying character, there is along with the growth of population, the unceasing growth of population, the names became many. All right. 随着人口的不断增多，姓氏多起来. So along with the population growth, the unceasing population growth, the number of names also became many. All right. 姓氏的来源大致有以下几种情况. All right. The source of names in the greater part, or the greatest part, have the situations, the several situations below, or the come about as a result of the following, is a way of saying that. Now, a lot of times, and this is why I like to stress trying to think in Chinese instead of translating in your mind is because if you're going through this process of translation, it really sort of needs to go in 2 steps, because in English we just say things differently, right? And we have a different kind of structure and a different kind of way of putting our words together. And when, like, if I was going to completely translate this sentence, the first thing I would do is I would think about what it says in Chinese, and then say the same thing in English, which would be slightly different. So for the most part, I might say, for example, if I was completely translated, I would say, for the most part, the source of names have the following circumstances, or come about as the following. 有一族先祖好或绝好为姓，有一国民地名为姓，有以官职或职业为姓，有以动植物为姓，以及以数字为姓。Okay, so all the different ways that your name can come about, as a result, you can say it's from your organization, or what your position in society, or the name of your country, or the a place name can also be a place of your name, or your profession, or a plant or animal name, animal or plant name, and a number. Your name could be, a kind of number. Okay. All right. Now, finally, 经济盲强的时代不断演变 ，OK， 才形成了中华民族如此庞大的姓氏大团体。So, long experience of history, and this continuous evolution of the long experience of history. After that takes place, the huge group of Chinese names takes form. The huge group of Chinese nationality names takes form. Why are these people interrupting me when I'm at work? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that should pretty much, I think, bring us to the end of the next... Yep, that brings us to the end of the episode. These people, they interrupt me, and that throws me off my game and everything. But thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you learned a lot. And don't give up. The first thing about learning to read Chinese is that you have to believe that you can do it, because it's a very common thing that people don't think it's possible, but it is possible. So keep trying. And that brings us to the end of the next thrilling, exciting, astounding, amazing, ebullient, and effervescent episode of the Reading Cow Another World thing show that this is. So join us again next time. Please remember to like and subscribe, and hope to see you again soon. And until then, goodbye.